So we had the Nintendo Direct. It was a Nintendo Direct Mini. I guess because it was only about 15 minutes long or so. But boy, did it have a lot of announcements. Let's go through those announcements, shall we? You want to grab that first one?
You talking about that one? Talk about that one. I think you're talking about this one. Maybe the first one they talked about.
These should be in order, yes.
Is it The World Ends With You?
Yes.
The World Ends With You remake.
We're beginning this list with The World Ends With You.
Yes. The World Ends With Me. I am the last human. Yes. The very cool, very stylish looking... Was this a DS game? When it first came? Yeah,
original DS
game is coming to the Switch. And to say when it's coming out?
Just sometime this year.
Sweet, that's awesome. I was hoping it was coming out sooner. I really liked that game. I liked the character design in that game. It was nice. Everyone's
anemic and starving.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite style. I like it. My people
starving children.
This game is based in North Korea.
Oh gosh. You're probably not wrong there.
Come at me, Kim Jong.
Yeah. There is some new content, I think.
I think there was like an after story. Like once you beat the game, there something else pops up and it gives you a little bit more. It goes a little bit more in depth of the story.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of new content coming out with this version, and it looks like it'll be just as good.
And it'll be in HD.
Yes,
so that's always nice, and you can play it on your TV.
Yeah.
I am curious because whenever you talk about taking a DS or a 3DS game and porting it to a system which only has one screen as opposed to two, I'm always wondering, like, well, what are they going to do to make that work? But I don't know if I've never played The World Ends With You. I know it's like a side-scrolling, almost like 2.5D type thing.
I'm pretty sure the combat had you used the touchscreen to do the combat.
You did.
Yeah, so this kind of confuses me a little bit because I'm pretty sure it's been a very long time since I've played the game. But I'm pretty sure like what went on top was completely different from what went on your touchscreen. And on your touchscreen is where you did your combat, but on the up screen is where like the visuals were going on. So I don't know if they're going to be like combining the two.
What would be really cool if Nintendo's not making this, Square is. If Square really wanted to go the extra mile, I would include a mode where you take it undocked. Could you play the whole game with just the touchscreen? Was it one of those? Or did you need the buttons too?
I think you needed the button.
Well, what they should do is they should make a mode where you undock the Switch, take the controllers out, and make a touchscreen only version where you have to flip the system vertically. Because some games do this now. Like I think some of the arcade ports, like where it's like
really,
yeah, where it's like a skinnier screen or a taller screen instead of a
that
wide
might be
screen.
what they're gonna do with it.
Well, at least make a mode like that where you make it so that it just kind of splits it into two. I think that would work really well.
If only my stand worked like that.
Yeah.
That's the only downside I can see. I was like, I don't see a very comfortable way of doing that.
Handheld. You do it handheld at that point. Yeah. But I'm just saying it's an option. Don't make it, of course, have it with controller and Joy-Con support. But also throw that in as a nice little handheld. So the next thing that they talked about, and coincidentally we'll be talking about, is Pokemon Tournament DX DLC. So this is going to come in waves. The first wave is going to be January 31st. The second will be March 23rd. And the first wave is going to include the new battle character, Aegis, which just looks like a sword and shield.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, he's one of my favorite Pokemon of Gen 6.
A lot of people were just like, that Pokemon's just a sword. I thought they were supposed to be based off of animals. Who said that?
Voltorb, Magnemite.
Muck?
It's
a pile of garbage.
He's just toxins.
Yeah, there's plenty of Pokemon that are based off of...
Exactly. Aegis is a king that died and just went into a sword.
So they're all like that? All of the Aegis Pokemon?
Yes. That is there. I'm pretty sure that is one of the Dex entries, is they were once like powerful kings that died in battle, and then when they died, they went into their swords.
So if you're a king, you're going to be turning into a Pokemon. Just saying.
Yeah. This is a cool Pokemon.
And you're also going to have the support set of Mega... I can never pronounce this one's name.
Mega Rayquaza.
Rayquaza. Okay. That one looks cool. I did see that being used. It looks OP'd.
It's... when it was just its normal form... Just normal Rayquaza, it was already a pretty strong Pokemon when Gen 3 was like the most up-to-date version. Mm-hmm. Mega Rayquaza has its own tier. It is, as of now, the strongest Pokemon in the entire game. I think with the new Pokemon games, the new like Ultra
Beasts.
No, there's one specific one. Necrozma, Ultra Necrozma. It may be up there with Mega Rayquaza, but Mega Rayquaza has the highest stats out of any Pokemon in the game at like 760 total.
Wow.
So, it's a very good Pokemon.
So he's close to Mewtwo, is what you're telling me.
No, Mewtwo is
he's
below
like
him.
he's like there's Mewtwo, and then there's Mega Rayquaza, and then there's the rest of the Pokemon like way down here.
No, Mewtwo.
That's what you're telling me.
Mewtwo is a
I'm glad that you cleared that up for me.
I'm
so happy that you're here to.
He's like Abra.
Clarify things. So, and then you're also going to have Mimikyu, which I believe that's the one that looks like Pikachu. It's the mimic.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how that's gonna... I think that's gonna be really creative how they could use that as a support. Like if you get close to it, something bad happens, like almost like a mine. That'd be neat. And then with the second wave, we're going to get battle character Blastoise. Awesome. That is so cool. That's really neat. And then he's going to come with a support set of Mew and Celebi, which I'm all for Mew. Never was a big Celebi fan.
You like onion, Sam? Little onion.
He just is. He's like a grass. He looks like a grass type Mew. How interesting is that? Not very.
He's a Pixie-mon. They're all small and look Mew-ish.
But you have to have Mewtwo with Mew as a support. Yeah. Beat any Mega Rayquaza. All right, you have the next one.
Next game is for all you Kirby fans out there. Kirby Star Allies it was announced at E3.
Yeah. This is not the first time they've talked about it.
Oh, I must have completely just gone over my head.
There's a lot going on at E3, to be fair.
Some new power-ups coming to it. Artist Kirby. Why not? And Spider Kirby, which I saw the hat for Spider Kirby. I don't like it.
I didn't see the hat.
I think it looks a little silly.
Nah, silliness in a Kirby game. What does the world come to?
This has been more silly than Kirby, but I get what you're saying. This one actually doesn't look like it has anything super interesting, because the buddy system has been a thing that's already been around in a bunch of Kirby games.
Yeah.
Even, like, I think one of the things was like, oh, you can do co-op mode and, like, your buddy can be an enemy. Like, yeah, that was back in, what, Superstar?
Oh, yeah, Superstar did it, but this time you could do up to 4 people, which is kind of cool. It's basically taking the idea that was introduced in
Return to Dreamland.
Return to Dreamland, but they're making it like Superstar. So I think that's neat. They're also combining the idea, or bringing back the idea from the crystal shards, where you can combine powers and make a new power. They're also bringing that back too.
Out of anything, that's probably my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite part of Crystal Shards, is being able to just combine power-ups.
And it's like we hardly ever get Kirby games, like, just if you don't want to, don't buy it. But I like Kirby games. I'll probably be picking this one up.
Oh, yeah. If you're a fan of something, or a fan of just, like, what looks to be a standard Kirby game...
We didn't have a Kirby game on the Wii U, did we?
Yes, I think so.
We had Yoshi. We had Woolly World.
Wasn't there a like Kirby Clay game?
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't really count that. But yeah.
Yeah, that came out for it, but. Yes.
All right.
That's coming out March 16th, by the way. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, not long off. There's also a demo out now on the Switch for Dragon Quest Builders. May not be on there if you're watching this way into the future, but during the Direct Mini, it was out. And that's set to come out the end of January. So if you are watching this way into the future, you could just play the game. It's a lot better than the demo, I bet. But this is basically a it's like a Minecraft. Of course, it's Minecraft mixed with Dragon Quest, but I've also heard that it holds your hand a little bit more than Minecraft does. It actually guides you through, and doesn't just be like, here you go, build a shelter. You don't know how to do that? Well, figure it out fast.
That's the best part
of Minecraft, not knowing what to do.
It's just starting from the beginning. It's just going throughout and learning everything. You don't need your handheld.
Yeah.
And in this case, I think, no, this is for the Switch. There's no more handheld. It was going to try and be clever. Can't do it.
Yeah, these are all Switch announcements. No 3DS announcements, which
makes sense.
It does. I mean, it's probably heading out. There's probably not going to be anything else major on that system.
Yeah. Can't compete with
the runaway juggernaut.
Yeah.
That is the Switch.
This is my turn again?
Yes.
All right.
You're catching up.
Next up. I was just making sure you didn't do what you wanted to say about that. All right, so next up, for people who spent money both on their 3DS and on their Wii U, you can now spend even more money on the Switch, getting Hyrule Warriors, the Ultimate Edition, the Definitive Edition, whatever you want to call it. It's basically Hyrule Warriors for the Switch, but it has all the DLC. It has, and I'm pretty sure the DLC content just... Okay, so no, it's characters... every map, every mission. So you're getting everything all into just one big hack and slash godlike video game that is the Warriors style.
Like Dynasty Warriors.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a few new things I think that they're doing is they're to just throw in like Breath of the Wild instead of, doing the Breath of the Wild like Link and Zelda. They're throwing in costumes for the already existing Zelda and already existing Link. So
right, same move sets. They're just gonna look like they do in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
There's apparently also gonna be a split screen version that you could play locally on the same system. Because with the Wii U, what you did was one person would play on the controller and then the other person would play on the screen, which I thought that was a pretty neat idea. Because in those games, you do want to see as much as you can, and when you go split screen, you lose some of that. But I assume it's also going to support play between multiple Switches as well.
Probably. But yeah, if you're into that, it's right there.
You can get Hyrule Warriors again, even if you played through it all on Wii U and 3DS.
Yes.
They're also coming out in the spring with a new Mario Tennis game called Mario Tennis Aces. This is being developed by Camelot, who developed Golden Sun. And I don't know much else of what they have developed, but...
For Mario Tennis?
Yes. Yeah. Now, this is going to include a story mode, so maybe they're, kind of throwing their own... Yes. A Mario sports game with a story mode. Not arcade mode or a single player.
I think story mode's stretching the term story mode. Here's a bunch of mini games that you can do with a tennis racket.
Well, they did include an overworld. They did show that.
They did the same thing in Super Mario Sluggers.
Oh. I don't know. I know that the last Mario Tennis game for the Wii U was not received very well. In fact, a lot of people would probably say it's the worst one that they've done.
Honestly, I don't care much for the sports Mario games.
Me neither. I mean, like, if I'm over at someone's house and they're like, hey, you want to play this? I'll be like, yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, it is neat when you have the Mario spin introduced, but it's kind of like, we've seen this. What more can you do that wasn't already done?
It's also just...
Or hit a button.
Yeah, it's just... That's it. It's like, get close to the ball and do that. That's the whole game.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. A lot of people probably not too excited about it.
Next up, I'm going to pronounce this super wrong. What looks...
Of course you get this one.
What is that name?
Eise.
Really?
Yes. That is how it is pronounced. Eise.
Eise?
Y-S spells
8.
Eise 8.
Eise 8. Or Eise V. Lacrimosa?
Well, looks that way to me.
Of Donna. What is this game?
Maybe it's Dana.
Either way, I don't think that's Dana. I think I saw some visuals that it kind of looks like an island version of Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it does.
Which, that's really good. The game looks really cool. The name is a...
Eise has been around for many, many generations of consoles.
Yeah, and apparently it came out for the PS4 and the Vita last year or something.
I heard about that briefly.
I had no idea. I never heard about this game or the series. So this is an entirely new thing for me. And the thing is, they've got this, and then they've got Monster Hunter World.
Right.
So...
Which is completely different art style.
Yeah.
Going for super realistic.
Yeah, so, whenever you want to take a break from... If anyone out there who plays Monster Hunter wants to take a break from playing Monster Hunter, this is a similar game with a different kind of setup. You basically, build a base on this island... And then you kill stuff for survival. It looks really cool. The name is stupid. Name's stupid. I hate the name. I can't say that.
What are you playing?
I'm playing Eise 8 the Lacrimosa of Donna. Would you play?
Would you like to play with me? No!
Lacrimosa.
Lacrimosa. Alright, next up we have free DLC for Super Mario Odyssey. But it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal because it's basically going to include what breaks down to a mini game. You're going to have Luigi show up, which is nice. I like anytime that there's a Mario game but there's no Luigi, it just Mario 64. That always felt wrong. But then he's brought in for the DS version, so it's all made well. But Luigi's role in this upcoming DLC he will basically be there with some balloons, and it's going to give access to this online sort of competitive balloon mode. And here's the gist of it. You, as Mario, can go and place a balloon somewhere in any of the kingdoms. Like really tricky places or well-hidden places. You place a balloon, and then someone else, another player, goes and sees if they can find it. Did I miss anything in that description, or is that it?
So that's the whole thing.
So you can go and place balloons, or you can go chase other people's balloons. Yeah, it's free. Don't complain.
Luigi's got a little... I looked at him when I was watching it, and he's got a little bow tie.
Aww.
He's just hanging from like 3 or 4 balloons. It may be that, or maybe like a bunch of balloons, and he's just like floating in midair, and he's just like, "Oh, hey Mario, here's a balloon."
Apparently, it's also going to have a few snapshot filters and 3 new outfits, including Sunshine Shades from Super Mario Sunshine, or the outfit from Super Mario Sunshine. That's cool, with the short sleeves. I like that. Musician hat and outfit to look like one of the new Donk City musicians, and a knight armor plus helmet, so you can run around like a little Mario Knight. I think I saw a meme of that said that took that with the Dark Souls announcements and mix it together and be like, famous Italian plumber, not even worthy enough to be a famous Italian, something like famous mustachioed Italian, but worthless, not even worthy enough to be a plumber. Since they have changed that for some reason in the lore. He's no longer a plumber, he was fired or something.
Poor Mario. Do you want to talk about this one? Because I have no idea what this is.
Sure, I can.
At least the other one, I knew what it was. This one, I was like...
So, SNK, makers of the King of Fighters games, Samurai Showdown, some of the more, they made games for the Neo Geo system, a lot of arcade fighting games, and they are bringing a new brawler that looks like it runs on the King of Fighters 14 engine, which is out for Xbox One, PS4, or maybe just PS4. It might just be a PS4 exclusive. It doesn't look, that game specifically didn't look that great when it was announced. It looked like it could run on a PS3 very easily at 60 frames per second, mind you. So it seems like it's not a very demanding engine, and they are going to take that engine, it seems. Haven't gotten any confirmation, but this game looks a lot like King of Fighters 14. And that game is looks like SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. And it's basically taking all of the female characters from SNK's fighting games and putting them all in a 2-on-2 tag team fighter. So they also said that they were going to be releasing Art of Fighting 2, which is available today on the Switch. That is also a Neo Geo game. So yeah, that's basically it. There's really not much to that. If you like King of Fighters and you want something similar to play on the Nintendo Switch, get this.
Nice. More power to you, ladies.
You can get the next 2.
Cool. So, Mario plus Rabbids, a game that apparently a lot of people liked. I was looking at a bunch of top 10 video games of 2017 from a bunch of different people. A lot of people put this on that list.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. So
it looked stupid.
It looks very... It's like you take SCOM and Mario and sprinkle little rabbits in there. But yeah, people liked it. So here's some DLC for you coming out in spring of 2018. They're adding a new character, Donkey Kong, and I think there will also be some more, I guess, levels to go along with that. And from it looked like in the trailer, some of them, or they all have like, I guess, unique abilities or something that goes along with them. It looks like Donkey Kong's got like a big old banana that he throws like a boomerang projectile.
And you can also like throw people really high if you need to get up high somewhere. So Mario's frenemy will be joining
the journey. Also, so I know that Doom and Skyrim have been on the Switch, and I guess, I don't know, when I think Nintendo, I don't really think of like games like that, so it always takes me a while to like realize or like think about these games being on a Nintendo console that have only been on like Microsoft and Sony. Payday 2 is coming out on the Nintendo Switch February 27th. There's also there's going to be an exclusive new character for the game, a Japanese computer whiz named Joy, who has a mask that it's kind of like LEDs like all over.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It does look cool. This is the kind of like this and like Grand Theft Auto are the kinds of games that I think that like Nintendo wouldn't put on, and there's a bunch of people that say that like Grand Theft Auto will be put on the Switch, or like a bunch of people think that it'll be put on the Switch.
Right.
I can't see that happening. I don't know if I can see Nintendo like going that far. This kind of makes me feel like
they may be okay with it.
They might be, because this is a very realistic-esque game as far as shooting people and stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Not that like those two things haven't been in Nintendo games before, but this is a more like realistic thing, so it caught me off guard. Like, oh, Payday 2.
I honestly think Nintendo is moving in a direction where it's like, yeah, they have they're still gonna have like the stuff they make is gonna be very family friendly. But they're getting to the point where it's just like, look, we know that, 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds and 40-year-olds still play video games, so why not have those available on our system as well? It makes good business sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm all for Payday 2. I remember I played that. I didn't play it a whole lot, but I had it for my, I think it was Xbox. It had to have been an Xbox One or Xbox. I don't think it was Xbox 360. I think it was Xbox One that came out and paid. Yeah. I know, it was the computer. I played it on Wyatt's computer.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed myself. So, I might get that.
We also have my turn to have something that I have no idea how to pronounce. It's either Fee or Fay and Celeste. Now, what this is I have no idea. I just know it comes out January 25th.
Oh, from the look of it, it looks it's a super indie looking game. But it was published, it's published by EA.
Oh, okay. That one. Yeah, I guess EA Originals is a side of EA that helps publish indie games. So yeah. It's an indie game.
It's a very colorful looking game where you're basically this creature and you use like songs to interact with like creatures and plants, and that's how you like get around this giant world. It looks cool. It's
Is it 3D?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if this is an insult or not. It looks like your typical indie game. Very colorful,
very high concept.
Yes. It's a very pretty looking, very pretty sounding game that every video game hipster will have in their library.
I don't support the corporations. I play on Switch.
Yeah. This next one is probably the silliest to come out of this whole direct, and it's a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is being ported to the Switch May 4th, and
It's the one that everyone was asking for.
Yes. And because Nintendo knew how much everyone wanted this, they were like, you know what? Let's give them a special present for having to wait so long.
Because we don't want Smash, for goodness sake.
They don't need it.
No, we want Hyrule Warriors, and we want Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Tropical Freeze with new character, Smash, new character alert. Funky Kong enters the battle. This is beyond, like, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Like,
how does Funky Kong play? I'm curious.
Funky Kong is basically God in this world. Funky Kong can't be killed. Funky Kong can't be stopped.
So this is Funky Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
No, this is Funky Kong coming to Donkey Kong being like, you don't have to look for your God anymore because he's right here. I'll save the day once again with his flying surfboard. No, magical surfboard. This is just a magical surfboard because he can fly with it. And someone's going to say, no, he can't. He can just hover. He can fly with it. It's basically Dixie Kong.
But
which is even, it's more dumb.
A much slower descent than Dixie Kong.
Yes. Also, character's so stupid. He rides this thing on spikes. You're immune to spikes.
Yeah.
Just one of the few obstacles in the game. You're immune to those. And you have an infinite spin or an infinite
roll on land, and then when you go into the water, you have an infinite spin attack.
Yeah.
You just keep attacking. Keep going.
Like, me and my friend made some pretty decent memes of Funky Kong in college. And it's just, there's so many more. Like, I wish I'd have known how many Funky Kong memes were going to come out because I would have capitalized on this. There are so many, like, what was it, like,
What Remains of Edith Finch? Or Ethan Finch?
Edith Finch.
Edith Finch. New funky mode included with Funky Kong in the corner.
For those of you who don't know, that's one of the most depressing games that I think have ever been released. It is so sad, and to have that right there is just like, it's beautiful.
Doom on the Nintendo Switch. Now with new funky mode included.
That would actually be really cool to just go around with just like funk music
as you're surfboard. You don't have a gun. Yes. You just kill things with a surfboard.
No chainsaw. It's just Funky Kong surfboard, and you're just spinning it and just cutting it. That would be cool.
And he rips things apart with his bare hand.
Yes. Or he takes the teeth of the surfboard, smacks it down, and then drags it across. Yo, get on that. Please put a surfboard in Doom.
Nintendo, that's what everyone really wants.
Yeah, I think I said this before, but it's coming out May 4th, so Lord and Savior Funky Kong.
And, of course, the last one. The one that probably everyone knew was going to happen at some point, but people just didn't know when. On May 25th, we are getting Dark Souls Remastered. The original Dark Souls.
It's the original.
What?
It's not the original.
Well, yes. Technically, Demon Souls came first, but that one was only on PS3, and apparently no one cares about it anymore. But Dark Souls Remastered, and by the way, this version is also coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So Switch is not just the only one getting it. But
they got to show it off first.
But man, who would ever think that Nintendo would get an Elder Scrolls game and a Souls game on their system?
Whew! They are. They're getting a pretty lineup. And
they're doing everything like perfectly.
The way they set this up in the direct, they started. There's like, and we have a new trailer for you. Something wicked this way comes. And I was like, oh, it's a Bayonetta 3 trailer because they
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 just
did
showed
that.
like a really quick teaser for that.
Yeah, was that an E3?
That was at the Game Awards.
Game Awards, that's right.
Last month.
And yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, it's just going to be a more in-depth trailer of Bayonetta 3 because it started going in like a dark room, and I think like the one that was released was like Bayonetta, like what looked like a defeated Bayonetta. I was like, oh, this is going to be Bayonetta. And then it's just like zooming in, and it was just, I don't know, kind of sound like a cave. And it's just like zooming in. I was like, this is very dark. Like, what's going on? And then you could see like a pile of something. I was like, oh, is that like where Bayonetta is? Or, and then I started seeing like little lights. I was like, and as I was watching it, you could just like slowly see like this grin going on my face. I was like,
as the fire lights up, so too does Matt's face.
And the sword is in the campfire, and it makes the death sound. I love that that's what they played. They played the "you just died" sound.
You died.
I can't wait for this game.
Because you haven't played the original.
I have not. Dark Souls 1 is the only game other than Demon Souls that I haven't played. Because I've played Bloodborne, played Dark Souls 3, played Dark Souls 2. You all know that.
You streamed it too.
Yeah, never finished. Never will. It's gone. But yeah, Dark Souls 1 is... a buddy of mine got Dark Souls 1, and he couldn't figure out how to play it. He said it was too difficult. I was like, that's Dark Souls. Like, what do you want? So I played like the first 30 minutes of the game for him, and I guess he like never touched it after that. He was like, it's too hard. I'm not having any fun. I was like, that's the fun. That's where it comes.
Yeah, I heard that the original Dark Souls was the Dark Souls of the Dark Souls franchise.
Yeah, it is. It's a good game. It's a hard game. So I cannot wait to go through this one and beat it and cry multiple times. And now I can be a masochist on the go.
All right. What everyone wanted.
Yes. It's just going to be a bunch of people like in public just like just like throwing their switches on the ground.
I know what he's playing.
I hate you. And you're just like, hey, it's okay, son, bro. It's like, I'm not.
Dark Souls in a nutshell.
Yes.